Yeah, welcome to the next another edition of Azure event, from the Azure Nigeria User Group. I'm your presenter, CJ Wabala, co-founder of the Azure Nigeria User Community. So today we'll be talking about an interesting topic, data, and as well as security, precisely application security. So how that is done in Azure environment and how you can apply that in your own workload. Bearing in mind if you're experienced with Azure or you have worked with Azure in the past. So this is kind of beginner level knowledge in data and application. So you have database or data warehouse in Azure Cloud, and you want it to be safe, you want it to be protected, and you want it to be of high standard looking at security posture. So privacy, identity and access, who can access this data. Also looking at when you share the data, or when somebody wants to share the data out of the workload, out of Azure, is it protected enough or not? So that's what I'll be talking about today.
Yes, sir.
So I don't know if you already done something on data in Azure before.
No, I only did the thing I did on data that might require me to use Azure was on premises database that I use SQL Server, but I didn't move down to Azure because I don't know how to use the Azure SQL database. The only tools more I use is the Azure Sentinel and the Entra ID, then the servers. I haven't started cloud data actually. I haven't done anything on the cloud data.
Yeah, so Entra ID, yeah. So Entra ID is like basically one of the good tools to manage identity and access. So who have the right access to the database or the data set in Azure. What can the person do?
Yes, sir.
So, for instance, looking at RBAC, role-based access control. So, is the person can read it, so he can see it, but he cannot change the data. So, you talk about contributor rights. So, from reader rights, contributor right, and then you're talking about owner rights. So, does the person own the right to the data? What can you, if you own the data, means you have complete access. You have a lot of possibilities on the data. What you can share it to somebody, you can limit the data, you can delete the data set, all those kind of things.
Yes, sir.
So, so, so today we'll be looking at Azure Key Vaults, application security, storage security, how to secure a database, and then we'll look at a lab on that. So what is a key vault? A key vault is a kind of a concept in Azure on how to save secrets. So secret could be a password, it could be a ID of an application, or an information or the secret or of a resource, and we save it in a key vault. Key vault is where we manage secrets, basically, in
Yes,
Azure. So have you heard about it before?
Yes, sir. I've heard about it. I did yes, but not extensively. It was when I was checking out Microsoft Learn, so I did the course on it.
Oh, that's good.
I did the course on it. The course is on Azure Key Vaults. I did them. but
Okay.
I haven't used them extensively like that.
Okay. So we'll look at the features in Azure keyboards. We'll look at how to access Azure keyboards. We'll look at an example of Azure keyboards. Certificates. Look at keys. Also manage customer managed keys, and then secrets within Azure keyboard, and then look at key rotation.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So basically, Azure Keyboard just cloud service offered by Microsoft to secure and also access your secrets. Basically, that's what it is. So in order to, for instance, you have like keys which you manage or information. So keys could be what can be stored in the keyboard. It could be the say you have an application enterprise applications, right? And these enterprise applications, you has an expiration date, and the identity of it is you can store it. And you don't want you don't want it to be public. It's just limited access, not to be public,
Yes, sir.
and then you can save it under Azure Keyboards. And that's what the good thing about Azure Keyboard.
Okay.
So Azure Keyboard has some cryptographic keys. So for instance, a resource type for a false is software protected as well as HSM protected. So we also have a managed HSMS. So the vault in itself, so a vault is like, the word vault is like where you store an information or data information. Say for instance, in a bank, the word vault is like a storage, a secure storage with accountability that you can hold, say like a document about your house, will, all those kind of things. So key types and protection methods. So we have like vault premium SKU only. We have managed HSMS kit. So these are the support types we have in place.
So please, can I ask a question, sir?
Sure, tell me.
So what's the HSMS key, sir?
So HSMS keys is just basically like I discussed earlier. It's just what I call it.
Okay.
It's a specific kind of protection of keys where you can
Okay.
store keys and stuff like that. Yeah. So it's like hardware. So HSM is like hardware security models.
Okay, sir.
That's literally what it means.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
So we also have software protected keys. Two key type could be RSA, so software protected RSA keys, and then EC, software protected elliptic curve keys. But in what do you call it? As a software developer or engineer, you don't have to care about or worry about these kind of differences. The most important thing for you is to know how to use Azure keyboards, how to rotate the keys, and how to store your secret in it.
Okay, sir.
So key types and protection methods continuation. So we have mentioned scale of type of keys. We have software protected keys in vaults, premium with a premium standard keys. Next, we have the HSM protected keys in Vault Premium SKU. And then we have the managed HSM keys. So Azure Keyboard secrets. all secrets in Key Vault are stored are encrypted. So so basically, Azure Key Vault inscribes secrets at rest with hierarchy or encryption keys, and all keys in that hierarchy are protected by modest. So, and the encryption is transparent and requires no action from the user.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, Azure Key Vault certificate. So a certificate could be like, say for instance, you visit a website, right? That website you visit, to make sure that this is not used by fraudulent activities or redirect you to a fraudulent website, it is protected by a key. And that's it, it's protected by a certificate. So that certificate tells you that this website you are visiting is genuine. So I don't know if you have like opened a URL and you click on the browser button on the URL, you will see a button where it says this URL is protected by the certificate is genuine, something like that. That's what this actually means. And this is controlled by REST APIs. Yeah.
Okay.
So within Azure Key certificates, we have exportable and non-exportable keys. So these are kind of different kind of key types and the kind of the securities they have. So likewise, we have the soft key vault and the hard HSM keys. And they have different, they come with different permissions. So the permission could be get, so you can get permissions that you can able to give a command, a request, permission you can get, and also list all the certificates, for instance. Also, we have key vault access. So in accessing a key vault, we have two forms of identification, so to say, governed under Azure AD. So we have like a users or application. So users could be, you want a user, a group within an a block. So say for you a group of developers, and under a user group, for instance, you want to access a certificate or a secret, or you want an application to access. Say an application could be a resource group or a storage account within Azure to access the key vault, and that is governed by Azure AD, so Entra ID. So first, there's an authentication. And when that is passed, so you identify the caller. So the caller could be a user or an application. And then next is an authorization. So which operations the caller can execute. So that is whether, and that comes down to RBAC, role-based access control. So, and that's governed key vault access policy or RBAC. So the person, the user or application can create or delete key vaults, or retrieve the key vault properties or update the access policy. And then another data plane, he or she, user or the application can add, delete, or modify the key vault secrets and certificates. The example of key vault could be SSL certificates for SSL, storage key for to access the storage accounts, or it could also be Bootstrap certificate for Azure authentication to Azure AD, Azure Entra ID.
Yes, sir.
So this also under custom managed keys. So custom managed means basically the user creates a storage account and enables storage service encryption. So keyword secret. So a secret could be, for instance, a name value pair. And in that case, the name must be unique in the vault. Value can be any UTF or 25 KB in size, the manual or certificate creation, something like that. So this is kind of a way to create a secret. So you give you put in an option manually, or you put the certificate, you give a name and the value, and then you set an activation date and an expiration date, and then you enable it.
Oh, yes, now I'm checking it.
So next is key and secret rotation. So for instance, you can rotate the secret within a key with a secret. So to make sure that let's say a previous person who has an access to it will not have access to it. So you keep rotating it. So you update the keys and secret without affecting your application. So, and there are 3 ways to do that. Could be part of a manual process. You can do it with REST APIs programmatically, or you can use like automation scripts in Azure to do that.
Okay.
So next is keyword safety and recovery features. So kind of a soft delete. So you have a keyword soft delete. So mistakenly, let's say a keyword is deleted with soft delete protection or without soft delete protection. So I don't know if you know what is soft delete.
No, sir. I don't, sir.
So soft delete is like if you set it on in case you mistakenly delete a key, you can always still have access to it, for instance. That's what it means. Somebody's joining. Wisdom. Yeah, so let's say, for instance, you have a resource, you already created it and deployed it, but mistakenly you delete it. So instead of it to be permanently deleted, you can access it, still access it. That's what you call soft delete. So soft delete means, yes, when soft delete is on, if you delete it, you can still recover it before it's deleted permanently. That's what it means,
Yes,
soft
sir.
delete means. So with this slide, looking at the time, I will just run through quickly. Wisdom, welcome. How you doing?
Fine, and you?
Good. How's life?
I'm surprised that it's almost 1 hour's gone.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, I was just waiting for people to turn in. So I think the timing was wrong. Well, it's a pleasure to have you here.
Okay, thank you.
So a bit of a recap. We're talking about Azure keywords. So data protection and security protection data. How do you protect data, for instance? A bit of the topic. Go back to this. Data protection and application security. So you have a data in Azure stored. How do you protect it? Let's say you have a data containing financial information, transaction information, or you have a data that contains personal information of somebody, the date of birth, where the person was born, the health history of the person, for instance. These are all personal data that need to be protected when you move things or you have things on Azure. And we've been talking about you can do that. You can save all those secret informations about the person on using Azure keywords. So that's what we'll be talking about. So I'll go right back to where we are. Okay. So later I will share the slide so you can catch up where you missed out. Are you new to Azure? That is where we stopped here. So a bit of a way on Azure keywords. So I will just show from the slides how you can create a keyword. You can review the keyword settings, and then you can configure the access policies. So we have an Azure dedicated HSM. So HSM means hardware security model. You have 2 regions, region 1 and region 2. And within that, there are VNet, VNet 1, VNet 2, and in region 2, we have VNet 3 and VNet 4. And then we have a kind of on-premises environment here. So this is kind of an example of an HSM architecture. So next, we'll look at application security. So application security, basically, how do you protect an application? So application could be on a web app. It could be a SaaS solution, Office 365, or like SaaS solution like Jira or SharePoint, something like that. How do you secure it?
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Or let's say most commonly used is Dynamics. So a lot of banks in Nigeria, they use the Office 365 Dynamics as your CRM tool. Of course, you guys are familiar with that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. Yeah. So we look at identity platform. We look at Azure AD, application scenarios. We look at app registration.
Okay.
We look at Microsoft Graph Permission. And we look at managed identities. And then we look at web app certification. So the Microsoft Identity Platform basically kind of under Azure AD. So the new name is Entra ID. So the name was changed from Azure AD to Entra ID. So with Entra ID is where you do your authentication and authorization. So, and that governs the identity and access management. So you want to identify an individual, a user, or an application, or a resource. That kind of different forms of, say, identification. A user, an individual, a group. So a group of, say, you have a group of developers, or you have an application. Say, for instance, you want a keyword resource in Azure to have access to a storage account in Azure. So a resource to have access to another resource in Azure. So there are different scenarios on applying Azure AD. So you could say, for instance, a single page app, web app, web API, background processes, mobile app, or desktop console app. I don't know if you guys know about service principal.
Sir?
Do you guys know about service principal? something called service principal.
So,
Service principal. So that's basically an application. Hello? Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, what do you say?
yes.
I said no.
Oh, service principle is like a way of in action on how to you work in an enterprise environment. You don't want an individual to create or own, say, a storage account to create it and own it. So you use a service principle to, and any individual can create the storage account or a visual machine, but nobody owns it.
Okay.
For that, and that's
Okay.
kind of a that's kind of a from security. It's very highly recommended in the security environment if you're working on an enterprise environment. So, for instance, let's say, for instance, if you go on Azure, you want to create a resource. Say you create a visual machine, you're using your name, your RBAC, role-based access control to create it. That means you own it. You can control who has access to it or who can use that visual machine. But in enterprise environment, we don't allow an individual to do that. We use service principle, and that goes under application registration.
Okay, so
Yeah. You can choose whether you want account to be on a single organization, a multi-tenant organization, as you wish. Depends on your scenario or your use case. So you can also give like a Microsoft Graph permission. You can use it to call APIs. And then the permission are granted to users or admins.
okay, sir.
I'm a bit fast today because it's already late from my side. So it's after 7 minutes after 8 here, PM. So I'm 1 hour ahead of you guys. Yeah. So I have to, but I'll share the slides for you guys in case if there's any question, you can always get back to me. That's available.
Okay, sir. I was even thinking of asking if
That one is
I'd like to connect with you,
Yeah.
maybe on WhatsApp or somewhere else. Can I connect with
Sure,
you to talk to you about
definitely. I'll share my
ask
WhatsApp.
questions?
You can see my WhatsApp on the Asha community, Asha WhatsApp community. So I can see my WhatsApp to you as well.
Yes, okay, sir.
In Asha, it's something we call managed identity. So managed identity also use Asha
Yes,
AD or Entra ID for authentication purposes to authenticate services.
yes, sir.
So we have also Asha App Services. So we have like a Java-based, .NET-based, Node.js, PHP, or Python-based applications. So also have app service environments, application that need more than say 30 app service plus instances, for instance, and multi-tier applications. App service plan. App service plan is an app service plan that defines a set of compute resources for a web app to run. It could be, it can basically run on a Windows or Linux environments in various regions with different number of VM instances. And then different sizes of the visual machine instance. It could be big, large, medium, or small, and with different pricing tiers. So networking within app service environment. So in an app service environment, there are different network information configuration. And also subnets, domain suffix, visual IPs, inbound address, and default outbound address. Likewise, we have availability zone support for app service environments. So an app service, you can deploy it across availability zones. So in these architectures, you have like a zone redundancy. So an Azure regions contains different data centers, which are given or deployed within a latency defined parameter.
Okay.
Yeah. So there are different options available to enable certificates in Azure services.
Okay,
You can create a free app service managed certificates. You could purchase app service certificates. You can import a certificate from keyboards, or you could upload a private certificate, or you can upload a public certificate.
Okay, sir.
It's kind of a bit of a demonstration about application security. First, you configure the app registration via the Azure portal, and then you can test the application with Microsoft Graph Postman. Next, we go on look at storage security.
Okay, sir.
How to secure a storage account, for instance. So we look at data sovereignty, Azure storage access. And we look at shared access signatures, Azure AD storage authentication, blocked data detention, Azure file authentication, as well as secure transfer required instance. So data sovereignty, look at the physical isolation, platform provided application, region recovery, sequential update, and data residency. So Azure storage access, for instance, so for any access to a storage account, there must be an authorization needed. And we have different authorization mechanisms, so which also includes anonymous ones. So for instance, Azure Active Directory, like Azure Blobs or Azure Files REST, or Azure Files SMB, or you can use Azure Queues or Azure Table.
Okay.
So I don't know if you guys have heard about shared access signature.
No. Is it like the encryption keys, like symmetric and asymmetric?
Come again?
I said, is it same as the symmetric and asymmetric keys?
So it's like if you want to access a storage account, like there's a shared access signature given to you in order to access it.
Okay.
So let's look at Azure AD storage authentication.
Okay, sir.
And this is available for blob and queue storage, and with several built-in roles, including data owner, data contributor, or data reader. So they kind of the three basic RBAC levels. So reader rights, contributor rights, and owner rights. And they are two-step process. So authentication and then authorization. And this is scoped down from the management group level down to the resource level itself. So I don't know if you guys know about the level. So we have resource group, management group level, which is the highest level. We have the resource group level, subscription level. Then we have the resource group level access. We have the resource level access. So management group level access, subscription level access, resource group access, and then resource itself access. And that is governed with RBAC, role-based access control. So retention policies for blob data retention, so data recovery and disposal rules, time-based retention, container policies to apply to all existing and new content.
Okay.
Time-based retention policies, immutable blob storage. Which policy type could be time-based retention, enable version level immutability. We also have like a legal hold policies. So Azure Files authentication, you can authenticate with Azure AD credentials and the Azure AD domain services. Someone is joining in. And then access Azure Files. Somebody just joined. Let me let in somebody in. Yeah. So Azure Files authentication, Azure AD domain services. I don't know if you guys know about Azure AD domain services or heard about it.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So you can enable Azure Files on-prem Azure AD DS, Azure domain services authentication, which comes with Azure AD identity that represents the storage accounts. And then you can assign the Azure AD identity that was synced with the Azure AD on share level permission.
Okay.
The Azure Files authentication, you can enable Azure Files authentication. You can assign Azure AD identity on share level permission to Azure Files. Also, you can also mount this Azure Files with the storage account key. Can also be that you require a secure transfer is needed. So you can integrate storage accounts with a content delivery network, so CDN. Or you can connect the storage accounts with HTTPS. You can also use the HTTPS for custom domain names. And then use Azure Files connection requires encryption. So storage security. So we'll look at how to generate SaaS tokens. SaaS means shared access tokens. Key rollover, storage access policies, Azure AD user account authentication, and storage endpoints. So database security, look at database, how to secure a database. It'll be like a simple database authentication. How to secure a database with firewalls, database auditing, data discovery and classification, vulnerability assessment, advanced threat protection, dynamic data masking, transparent data encryption are always encrypted. So data AD authentication for Azure SQL. Have you guys worked with Azure SQL before?
No, sir.
Somebody is joining in. Evelyn. Hello. So Azure SQL is a part of, it's a database from it's a SQL database from Microsoft. Helen, welcome. Nice to have you. Azure AD authentication for Azure SQL. So a SQL is just a database. It can also have like PostgreSQL. This one is Microsoft SQL, but then it's on Azure. So we call it Azure SQL. So similar to on-prem SQL database, for instance. So there are many possibilities. You can allow password rotation in a single place. Customers can manage database permission using external AD, Azure AD groups, for instance. So SQL database firewall, by default, firewall denies all access. So this is kind of every access coming from the external access. By default, the firewall, the NSG would block it. Now you can also give firewall rules that will allow some certain access to the SQL database. So you can state that as a policy, firewall rules group, all those kind of things within a network security group, NSG. So you can retain an audit trail of selected events, a report on database activity and analyze results, configure policies for server or database level, so forth. So also we look into the data discovery and classifications. So for instance, data that can be classified as confidential, so GDPR, classified as normal confidential, or also classified as highly confidential or classified as public. So you can now have a data. So you have, for instance, this data address line. I'll classify it as being confidential at sensitivity level, and means it's highly confidential. No anybody can have access to it, and that kind of a good data protection mechanism in Azure Cloud. So you can also have like policies from Microsoft Defender for Cloud for SQL, which is part of the Azure Security Center. So it gives you kind of a report. It says, like, for instance, the Azure Defender gives you a report, say, for instance, some criteria or resources needs you to protect for. Say, for instance, in this case, you have like you have Azure SQL databases, and there are 7 servers in number, and it wants you to put it on. So Azure Defender will monitor the SQL database and protect it for you. So it provides vulnerability assessment tools. It contains advanced threat protection to govern and protect better your resources in Azure. You can also do like vulnerability assessments on your resources in Azure as you wish. And it's about advanced threat protection. So protection against SQL injection attack, SQL injection vulnerability, data exfiltration, and also against brute force or self-action anomalies at client login. You can also do like a data masking, dynamic data masking. So dynamic data masking is used for instance, credit cards. a credit card, you want to mask the name of your credit card, the number of the credit card, as well as the email address of the owner of the credit card. You can now click add mask and it masks it. So when this information or data is requested via shared access signature, this credit card information will not appear. So you also have like transparent data encryption. So it protects databases, backups, and logs at rest, server level. Also give real-time page level encryption and description as well. You also have like always encrypted of your data. So to protect sensitive data at rest and also in transit. So this is how to implement an always encrypted. So you have like SSN. I put an always encrypted wizard to protect that. Okay, this data within this is always encrypted. An encryption calls on an encryption with a master key, a certificate key, and when the person that would call the data has the encryption key, he or she can see the content of the data, this data point, for instance. So this lab is something you guys will do at home. So I've already detailed it on how to do it and how to approach it. So just look at the slide and then you practice it out at home. So the lab is involves how to create a keywords, and then you also have to configure the permissions, and then you add the key and the secret to the keyword, and then you register the client application that uses the key. Then you go further and create a SQL database, and then you use inscriptions in the columns. So the columns, so you have the SSN and the bed date, and you build a console app to test the inscription. So first, the exercise, the first task is create the keyword. So you have the resource group, and within the resource group, you have the VNet and the subnet. Within it, you have the Visual Machine, you have a SQL Server Studio and a Visual Studio in it. So this forms task 5. Task 2, 3, 4 is to create the keywords with a key name and a SQL Server with a password. And then exercise 2 involves task 2 involves the keyword access policy and the defaults, and exercise 2 task 1 is the SQL app application. So the next is the lab 2 secured Azure SQL data, how to secure the Azure SQL database. So first you deploy Azure SQL database. Next, you configure an advanced data protection. And then you have to configure the data classification. Next, you have to do the auditing. You have to configure auditing. So lab 2 requires securing the Azure SQL database. So you have to find how to secure it. You're using the encryption, using Azure keywords, using security group or using firewall rules. Lab 3 involves service endpoints and securing the storage accounts. So you have to now use service endpoints and then secure the storage account. So you have the storage account. With this account, you have a blob storage. You have a normal storage account. And then you have the storage endpoints. Storage endpoints, within storage endpoint, you have the private IPs. And in the public, you have the public IPs. And this is within the VNet. And then you have to configure, and this are work within the NSG, Network Security Group. The way you have to now apply your rules, allow rules. So rules that, for instance, to allow access to the storage account and the internet. And then you can also put like a deny rules as well. So lab 3 involves service endpoint securing the storage accounts. So when you within the visual network, you have a public and a private IPs. And this is within a VNet with this IP address 10.0.0.0/16. And then you have the storage accounts. So that comes to the end of our presentation.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir. So where can we access the presentation file, sir, with the lab, sir?
So basically, I will share the slides here. When I finish a presentation, I share the slides as well as post it on the Azure Nigeria User Group YouTube channel. Then you can follow through again on the presentation in case you joined late. And I will drop the PowerPoint slides in the chat each time I finish a presentation.
Okay.
I was fast, so it's already late. Yes, this is getting to 9 o'clock in the night. So, but this is a beginner level kind of knowledge, so it's easy to understand and grasp.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello.
Yeah.
Okay. Please just help us to link the link of Microsoft Azure of this topic to reach to.
Link of what?
The lectures note, like Microsoft Learn link of this topic, where we can go through it and learn more.
Okay, that's what you mean.
Yes.
Sure, definitely. I could do that. No problem. No problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, any other question?
No other questions, sir.
Okay.
Not from my side.
Okay. If there's no other questions, thank you for joining. I think next time I will plan the event earlier. So like morning hours, 11, 12.
Yeah, it's okay.
Because the last event we had, the last two events we had with a presenter. So I was the host, but I wasn't the presenter. So the presenter wanted it to be in the morning, and that was around 11. I was like, wow, it's too early. But a lot of people joined in, so that was like good, very nice. So, I work Monday to Friday.
I missed the last one because of maybe date of time that I don't know. I miss it.
Well, you can still, if you go on the YouTube channel, I will show you the YouTube channel.
I watched it.
Okay, watched it. Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. That's good. Okay, you guys are a member of the Azure WhatsApp group, right?
Yes, sir. We are.
Yes.
Okay, I will drop the slide here, this slide on this chart, so you can download it. I use it on your own. Let me see if I can drop it here.
Okay, sir. My phone will be dying soon. It's 2%. Can you drop it now, sir? So I will just.
No worries.
I have to stay.
Cool, no worries. Share it across. So there's no light for you to charge it or what?
It's Nigeria now.
You have not seen light for a long time or what?
No, it's Nigeria. We haven't gotten license morning. We don't have license.
Since when?
Morning.
You don't have like a solar alternative to NEPA, solar solutions.
or power bank.
Okay. Let me post it on YouTube, then you will access it from there. It's easier. Okay. I will drop it
no
here.
problem.
Okay.
Okay, no problem.
Okay.
Okay, thanks,
So
guys.
the YouTube channel, please. I don't know the YouTube channel.
And also, I'll share it. Let me share it on the YouTube
Mr. Opala, I don't know the
channel.
YouTube channel.
WhatsApp community. Are you guys are a member of the WhatsApp community, right?
Yes.
Our WhatsApp community.
I don't know the YouTube channel.
I'll share it across. Don't worry. I'll share it. Let me drop it now on the WhatsApp community. It's easy to get it.
Sir. Thank you.
So I just dropped it. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Ciao.
You're welcome, sir.
Bye.
Have a wonderful weekend.
You too. Bye. Ciao.
Bye.